Well, I tell you what, Ilana, we have some of the most inspirational people in this country that we live in. South Africa is alive with possibility. A lady named Saray Khumalo is a South African mother of 2 from Johannesburg, and she's attempting to become the first African woman in history to climb the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest, in an effort not just to break a world record, but also raise R1 million for charity. Take a look at this.
The Lunchbox Fund is an organisation dedicated to providing a daily meal for extremely poor children in South Africa. And one woman is climbing the highest mountain in the world to support them.
Saray Khumalo is attempting a great feat to climb Everest, and she is wanting to attach a charity to her effort, and she's picked us, luckily. We're thrilled.
If successful, Saray will become the first African woman in history to successfully summit Everest. But it will be no easy feat, battling temperatures as low as -60.
It's not just saying there's food, go your way, but it's there's food. Come and get education so that tomorrow you get your own food. And that I'm very passionate about.
With the goal of raising R1 million, Saray and her team will climb nearly 9,000 meters in winds that can reach 320 kilometers an hour.
It's cold, and the higher you go, the less oxygen there is. So there are dangers, obviously, and you need to be fit. You don't just wake up in the morning and say, hey, I want to do Everest. I mean, we'll all be up there. How I've decided that I'll handle this is obviously to listen to the guides or the shepherds that I have, Sibusiso, who's done it more than once, and also I've taken more oxygen than recommended.
It's important for the public to be informed about Saray's climb, because Saray will be the first African woman to summit Everest, should she succeed. I mean, simply reaching base camp is a success, actually. But also, what she's climbing for is to raise money for a charity that is very integral to education for South African kids. And feeding kids at school creates a behavioral incentive for children to attend school. So the more that we can raise for that, the better for everyone.
I think it's great if I become the first, but it's not important. What is important for me is to summit, come back to my family, and in the process, raise the R1 million. If people can help us do that, that would be fantastic.
Having already almost reached the R300,000 mark, Saray is well on her way to providing the much-needed support these kids desperately need. And you can help too.
The public can follow the expedition through Twitter, at Ubuntu Everest, or on Facebook page, Ubuntu Everest. They can donate on lovetodogood.org.za and see how much we've raised from there.
They can also follow on the Lunchbox Fund social media, the progress, and they can contribute to our goal on the Lunchbox Fund website as well.
Well, what an incredible story indeed. Now, with us on the line, joining us via satellite phone from Everest Base Camp is Saray Khumalo. Saray, good morning or good evening or good whatever time of day it is there. Can you hear me?
It's good morning. Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing? I'm
Very
sure you're
well.
warmer than I am.
Very, very well. I mean, you're broadcasting to the entire country right now, and it's good to hear you on the you hear your voice on the line. Now, you arrived in Kathmandu on the 3rd of April, as I understand, and you've only just arrived at Everest Base Camp. Tell me about your journey so far. How's it been?
It's been fantastic. When we started, obviously, in Kathmandu, we were looked after very well.
Yes.
That's a helicopter. I don't know if you can still hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, yes.
Okay, fantastic. We were meant to start off from Kathmandu on the 6th. Unfortunately, the weather was terrible in Lukla, which is where you normally land and start off the expedition. So what we did is we drove to Jiri, a beautiful little town, which apparently is where Hillary and Townsend started the expedition those moons years ago. Flew by helicopter, my first helicopter ride.
Wow.
Quite an experience in itself. Into a small town just above Namche Bazaar, and trekked down from there. Spent a night and started trekking up, and yesterday we arrived at base camp.
Wow.
Met a few South Africans on the way, which was exciting, always exciting when you see the flag on the way.
I love how you're making this sound like a great holiday trip.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about the conditions there. Because you're saying like it's a bit colder than obviously where we are right now. What are you experiencing right now in terms of conditions, and how is it making you? What is it making you think about your journey going forward?
Well, it's very, very hot. as in the sun is shining, but the wind is cold because the base camp is actually surrounded by the glacier on one side and mountains on the other side that are also covered by the snow, obviously. But the tents are cooking, so it's a bit hot in the tent. However, last night it was freezing cold. Probably, I'm guessing here, minus 16 outside, but it was about minus 13 inside. One of the teammates actually measured that. But the spirits are high. You know, we haven't had the altitude sickness, which most people become miserable after getting altitude sickness. And it's a great expedition. The food is great. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Now, you start your mammoth trek up Mount Everest tomorrow morning, as I understand. So what are you going through right now? Is there excitement? Are you scared? I mean, has it finally sunk in what you're about to do?
I think it sunk in when we walked into base camp. A few tents scattered around, and you can see that, you know, this is it. But we actually don't start tomorrow, so we rest for 3 days.
Okay.
On the 17th, we have a ceremony which is called Punja ceremony, which obviously the local people bless the expedition and so forth. You don't start climbing before that. And what we've done, instead of going up and down the Khumalo Icefall, we are actually going to climb a 6,000 mountain just very close by, which is called Labuche, I think. Labuche. So we'll summit that one, then come back. Labuche East is actually 6,119.
Wow.
After summiting that one, we come back, so that's acclimatization. Then we start going up and down the Khumalo Icefall. So I'm really looking forward to it. But as I speak to you and I turn around and look at the Khumalo Icefall, the sun, everybody has got to have their sunglasses on. So the sun is hitting onto the ice and reflecting onto your eyes, which is a bit dangerous, but good for the skin for a little while, and then you cover up very quickly. Yeah, it reminds me of Africa, I think.
Saray, thank you so much for joining us. We are getting a bit cold, feeling the nibblings of winter, but I'm sure nothing has compared us to what you're going to be going through. And thank you very much for your bravery and the cause that you're doing this for.
Just let me take this opportunity to just thank Discovery and Isuzu for obviously sponsoring us, and also to remind people why we're doing this. It's for the Lunchbox Fund.
Yes.
It's for the Mandela Children's Library. If you can keep looking out for us, we're updating Facebook every now and again, and support us.
Fantastic, and we definitely will do that. We wish you all the best in becoming the first African woman to summit Everest, and of course the whole of South Africa will be supporting you every single step of the way. Thank you very much, Saray.
Fantastic. Have a good day.
Good luck, Godspeed. Now, you can follow Saray's journey on Twitter at Ubuntu Everest. Saray Khumalo, a South African mother of 2 who's attempting to do this. This is absolutely incredible, and the fact that she's doing it for such a good cause at the end of the day only adds to the worthiness of why we all as South Africans should be supporting her. We'll be giving you daily updates, or as much as we can at least, following from her social media updates. But I hope that gave you a bit of inspiration on this Tuesday morning. Stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.